Hey guys, welcome back to Old Guy Talks Money. Today's video, I want to talk about when you should take Social Security. I guess more importantly, who you should listen to or not listen to for trying to decide when to take Social Security. What prompted this video was I watch a lot of finance content. Several months ago, I came across a video about with a guy, and he was adamant that you should take Social Security at 62. I'm going to call this guy Pensacola Pete. That's not his name. I don't want to send traffic to his site. I don't agree with his content. So I'm just going to use that fake name, Pensacola Pete. He was adamant that you take Social Security at 62. So I watched it. And the sad part is this video got like 2 million views. But it was several years old. I really didn't agree with it, but it was so old. I thought, I'm not going to make content about it. I'm not going to try to, put my spin on it. It's old. Let it go. So I watched some of his other videos because I really wanted to see where this guy was coming from. I'm going to offer my opinion, and it is my opinion only. Seems to be a guy that never prepared for retirement. One of his videos, he said he worked self-employed only 2 or 3 days a week, never bought a house, couldn't even spell 401k, and that you needed to retire as soon as possible and get that free money from the government, and then get out of your prison job, quote unquote prison job, and get a side hustle, make enough, make up to the limit, the Social Security limit, that wouldn't affect your benefit. And that was his plan. My opinion again is that he was ill prepared, and now he's trying to justify his lifestyle and his decision and tell everybody that's what they should do. That's what I thought. But the video was several years old. Like I said, I let it go. Well, we all know how YouTube works in their algorithm. Recently, within the last 2 weeks, up pops another video with him spouting the same stuff. And it just rubbed me wrong. Y'all know I created this channel to provide financial education, to show what I'm doing, to give someone else, some other people a chance to gut check things, okay? I'm not going to tell you I'm an expert. I'm going to tell you what I'm doing, what I think you should look into, and then you need to go do it. There's an idea, and I heard it a long time ago. I looked it up again just to make sure I got it close. When I was in college, one of our professors said something like this: if you want to know a subject, read 3 books on that subject, and then go back and read the best one, and you will know more than, you'll know more than 90% of the people on that subject. And that always resonated with me. And so what I'm saying is, when you're going to make these financial decisions, talk to people, research it, watch videos, but get different perspectives, and then you make a decision. Remember, I said in my very first video, there are no right answers, just best answers. The reason we call it personal finance is because it's personal. Now, I started to cut up some of his video and show it, and I thought, I'm not going to do that. Again, I don't want to drive traffic to his channel. So what I'm going to do is just read you some of the quotes, then I will offer my thoughts on it. Okay. So took some notes, forgive me. Obviously didn't memorize his drivel. So I am going to read some to you. So he says, never take it early, that being Social Security, because you lose money. 62 is the number, folks. You don't get a reduced amount, you get the amount. You will get the most amount. Reduced amount is a gimmick. Average age for a male is only 73 years old. So his point is, you take it at 62 and you're going to die at 73, why not go ahead and take it and enjoy it while you're still capable? He also went into this big diatribe about the difference in ages. He uses the analogy of how much we change between 12 and 17, which is absolutely true. And then he tries to equate that to the same changes in our life between 62 and 67. Now, guys, it didn't really resonate with me because he's thinking that you're going to make up for this gap in the reduced amount by a side hustle. And if you're declining, how are you going to do that? But be that as it may, when he said that the average age of death was 73, I thought that can't be right. just seems so low. So I Googled it. You know what? He is right. Here's the problem, though. The number he is using is all deaths. So it includes infant deaths and childhood deaths. But the fact of the matter is, if you go and say, hey, Google, what's the average age of death for someone who's 62? Guess what? It's 80 years old. You say, what's the average age of death for someone 65? It's 82. And 67, it's roughly 83. That's for a male. Women tend to be 3 to 4 years longer than that. Okay. This is all from the Social Security Administration. And the other thing I'm going to do is I think one of the really good life expectancy calculators is on the John Hancock site. And I'm going to drop a link. They have a simple survey you answer about your health, that kind of stuff, your age, and it will help you guesstimate a life expectancy. Okay. So that was one thing that bothered me. He's out there telling people, hey, average age of death 73. You better take that money now. And it's just not true. So then he tries to go on and show that his knowledge of the subject. And this is what he says. He's talking about how nowadays everybody agrees with him. He said, then they realized that 62 is the key because they saw my videos. There's countless YouTubers promoting getting Social Security at 62 and all agree. There's hardly anybody before that. I was like the only one. All promoted by these scam investors, scam financial counselors. Is what he's saying is that this idea that you should delay it, get more, is because of the scam financial counselors that want you to keep keep giving them your money to invest so they make money. That's why they don't want you to retire and start spending your money and start living your life. Guys, you heard what I said, that the numbers are the numbers. I mean, the ages are the ages. This idea that it's some scam perpetrated by investment professionals to keep you giving them money for them to invest, it is ridiculous. Goes on to say, you get more. When you start collecting your Social Security at 62, you get more money for most people than you will ever get by delaying it another 5 years. Most people that end up waiting to that point die. They collect one check and die. Now that bothered me. And so I ran the numbers, and I'm going to show them to you, and I'm going to show you what it impacts. Now in this video, he shares what he makes. Let me switch screens. So let's look at it. Now he's started taking Social Security at 62. Now he currently gets $1,700. That's with COLAs that he's received. I wasn't going to try to go back at what he was getting when he, was 62. I think he's 65-ish now. I just said, let's start at $1,700 a month. We know that at full retirement age of 67 that you get more. You get 70% of your full retirement at 62. That's how the math works. And then using the Social Security calculator, you can back into 65. Okay. So here's the takeaway. At 62, you start at $20,400. That column there shows you that through age 85, you will have collected $489,600. His whole idea is that you're going to be dead at 73, and if you are dead at 73, you will never collect more. Well, we know that's wrong. So if you start at 65, you will have collected $530,712, which is $41,000 or roughly $163 a month more over that 21-year period. And if you delay it till full retirement age, you collect $64,114 more. And you see where I've highlighted where those break-even points are. So at 77, where the break-even point for 65 is, and at 78 is where it breaks even for 67. Obviously, the math is there. I think in his video, he said it was at 80. Well, it's not 80. I looked at this thing several times. I did the math. I got Google to do the math. I got ChatGPT to do the math to make sure I wasn't missing something. Because if I'm going to get out here and say I think he's wrong, it's not fair if I'm wrong. So anyway, the takeaway for this whole thing is that please be careful when you're making these decisions. Now, I'm going to share kind of an anecdotal thing that I heard. There's a YouTuber who made a video complaining about Pensacola Pete and said that she was unhappy because she watched the video thought he was right, started Social Security at 62, and it was a big mistake. She owns it, she acknowledges it, but I thought, sheesh, this guy got a couple million views. And here's one person that is claiming to have been harmed by his advice, or let me rephrase that, wishes they had not listened to it. I just couldn't let that go. And I wanted to put this out there, give a different perspective, and say, please, please research it. Now, I told you I can't tell you when to take Social Security, but I'm going to tell you some things that I think you should think about. One is your life expectancy and your health. Go to the John Hancock site, get a gut check of what that may be. Two, what are your financial needs? What do you have in retirement savings? It may be that you need to take it earlier, and that's fine. Just make it an informed decision. What's your employment situation? There is a limit of the amount of money that you can make if you start it before full retirement age that will reduce the benefit you receive. So if you're still working and planning to work longer, please research that. The other big place that I think he really missed the boat, y'all, is spousal benefits. Now, Pensacola Pete appears to be single, but a spouse is eligible to up to 50% of their spouse's benefit. Okay, so let me say it this way. I am 60. I just turned 60. My wife is 5 years younger than I am. Okay. She can get is eligible for either 50% of my benefit or her benefit, whichever is greater. Okay. I've been blessed, been a high earner for a number of years. I got to believe mine's more than hers. But here's the problem. If I take Social Security at 62, it locks in the maximum amount she will ever get. So it works this way. I take it at 62, I'm going to get 70% less of my full retirement age. Well, if she starts at 62, it's even less. It gets reduced again. The only way she could get back to that reduced amount that I started at 62 is if she waits till her full retirement age. So think about this. You're married, you start taking Social Security, you pass away, it could really impact your spouse's benefit. I've got to think about these things. And I get it, he's single, maybe he wasn't thinking about it, but by God, if you're going to go out there and give financial advice, you can't even spell 401k, then please do all the research. Okay, it's a big deal. Last thing is this. You could have some type of unique personal situation. Maybe you've got dependents or healthcare issues. Those are all factors that need to go into this decision. Again, I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm going to tell you what you need to think about and say, please go do your research. Do not be Pensacola Pete. I hope you find it educational, a little entertaining, and I will see you in the future.